Money. Everyone needs it, but very few know how it truly works. Schools teach you how to get a job, how to fill out taxes, or how to budget your allowance, but they rarely teach the skills that actually make you wealthy. Today, we're diving deep into what schools never taught you about money, the truths that separate the financially secure from everyone else. Most people think debt is something to avoid at all costs, but the truth is more nuanced. There's debt that can actually make you money, and debt that can silently destroy your financial future. Schools rarely explain the difference. They'll tell you, don't borrow money, or credit cards are bad, but they never break down the real power of leverage. Real estate investors, for example, often use debt to buy properties that generate cash flow. That's good debt. On the other hand, high-interest credit cards or auto loans for depreciating assets are bad debt. Understanding this distinction is critical if you want to grow your wealth rather than just survive paycheck to paycheck. Yet, most people only learn this the hard way, through late fees, mounting interest, and financial stress. Imagine if schools had taught students how to strategically use debt to build assets instead of liabilities. That knowledge alone could change the financial trajectory of millions. Compound interest is called the eighth wonder of the world, but it's almost never taught in a way that actually motivates students to act. Most school lessons give a formula and a graph, but they fail to show the life-changing impact it can have when applied correctly. Let's break it down in a human way. If you start saving $200 a month at age 20, assuming an average return of 8% per year, by the time you're 60, you could have over $400,000. Start at 30, and that number drops to about $200,000. That's the power of time, and it's money schools fail to stress. Even more importantly, compound interest doesn't only work for savings. It works for investments and even knowledge. The earlier you invest in financial education, assets, or skills that generate income, the more exponential your growth can be. The school system focuses on grades and graduation dates, but it doesn't teach students that financial time is one of the most powerful assets they'll ever have. This is one of the most fundamental lessons most schools skip entirely. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. Yet, most people go through life buying liabilities and calling them assets: a bigger house, a luxury car, or expensive gadgets. Schools rarely teach that wealth isn't about income, it's about what you keep and how it works for you. For instance, a $500,000 home might feel like an achievement, but unless it's generating income, it's a liability disguised as an asset. Real financial education would focus on building income-producing assets, stocks, rental properties, businesses, or intellectual property. This mindset shift from working for money to having money work for you is something most people only learn after years of struggle. Another major lesson schools ignore is how taxes impact your earnings and how the wealthy legally minimize their burden. Most people are taught to fill out forms and pay what's owed, but they're never taught that smart tax planning is a tool to build wealth. Understanding deductions, business structures, and investment strategies can save tens of thousands of dollars each year. For example, forming an LLC or investing through tax-advantaged accounts like IRAs or 401ks can drastically reduce your taxable income while growing your net worth. Schools treat taxes like a chore. They never teach that mastering tax strategy is one of the fastest ways to keep more money and accelerate wealth creation. Finally, the most overlooked lesson of all: financial mindset. Schools teach arithmetic, but they rarely teach emotional intelligence around money. How you think about money, your beliefs, fears, and habits often determines your financial reality more than your actual income. Scarcity mentality leads to stress, impulsive spending, and poor decisions. Abundance mentality, on the other hand, encourages investment, calculated risk-taking, and long-term planning. Wealth isn't just a numbers game, it's a psychology game. Developing the right mindset early can make the difference between a lifetime of financial struggle and financial freedom. If you've been paying attention, you know that simply earning money isn't enough. The real secret is putting that money to work. Schools rarely talk about investing, not the boring lectures about the stock market, but the practical steps you can take to grow wealth. Investing isn't gambling, it's strategic risk management. The wealthy don't chase trends, they build portfolios that generate consistent returns. This can mean stocks, bonds, real estate, or even owning a business. The key is understanding risk versus reward. Most people start too late, or they overcomplicate it. They think they need thousands of dollars to begin, but the truth is, even small, consistent investments can grow into substantial wealth over time. The earlier you start, the more compounding works in your favor. That's why learning how to invest early and intelligently is far more valuable than memorizing algebra formulas that you might never use. Another lesson missing from traditional education is the danger of lifestyle inflation. As your income increases, so do your expenses, often faster than your earnings. People get promotions, buy a bigger house, a fancier car, and suddenly all the extra money disappears. The wealthy think differently. They increase their assets before increasing their liabilities. Schools teach you how to earn money, but not how to manage your spending psychologically. If you can control lifestyle inflation, reinvest extra income wisely, and focus on building assets instead of liabilities, you're creating long-term financial security. Here's something else schools rarely emphasize: the power of connections. Networking isn't just for landing a job, it's a multiplier for wealth. Who you know can open doors that money alone can't. Successful people surround themselves with mentors, investors, and peers who challenge them, offer opportunities, and provide guidance. Yet, most schools teach competition instead of collaboration, leaving students unprepared to leverage relationships effectively. Understanding that money often follows value, and value is amplified by who you know, is a subtle but critical lesson that can accelerate financial success exponentially. Schools are designed to teach you to avoid failure, but in the real world, risk and failure are unavoidable and necessary. Wealth creation is rarely a straight path. Investments fail, businesses struggle, and mistakes happen. The difference between the wealthy and the rest isn't that they never fail, it's that they manage risk intelligently and learn from every setback. Financial education should teach students to embrace calculated risks, diversify investments, and maintain resilience when plans don't go perfectly. Without this mindset, most people give up at the first sign of adversity. At its core, all these lessons, understanding debt, mastering taxes, investing wisely, controlling lifestyle inflation, building networks, and embracing calculated risks, lead to one goal: financial independence. Financial independence is freedom. It's the ability to make choices without being trapped by money worries. Most schools teach you to chase a paycheck, but they don't teach you how to build a life where money works for you. That's why financial literacy outside the classroom is far more important than what most students learn inside it. Here's what you can start doing today. Audit your spending and categorize liabilities versus assets. Begin small investments early. Even $50 a week can grow significantly over time. Learn the basics of taxes and leverage legal strategies to reduce your burden. Surround yourself with financially savvy mentors or peers. Focus on mindset. Treat money as a tool, not a goal. These steps may seem simple, but they compound over time. Knowledge alone won't make you wealthy, action does. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss insights that schools won't teach you. Comment below your biggest money lesson that you learned the hard way, or the one you wish you knew sooner. Remember, financial freedom isn't a dream, it's a skill, a mindset, and a strategy. Start applying these lessons today, and over time, you'll see the difference between just earning a living and truly building wealth.